Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily go-getterism number 762 for November 3rd, 2016. Hmm. Tonight I want to talk to y'all about the expiration date versus the end date. Expiration date. See, when you start talking about the expiration date on things on a personal level, you start talking about the time that has gone past when something is useful to you. When something has expired, that means the time has passed when you can use something to your advantage. I'm not talking about use something like use and abuse something, like treat something poorly. But I mean, when something is of no use to you anymore, then it has expired. It has reached its expiration date. Now the problem is that a lot of times we use things when they're way past their expiration date because we don't really see the ending of things, but we do feel it inside when something isn't of use to us anymore. I'll give you some examples. For example, let's say you've been working on a job for a good minute, and you moved up in the job, you've gotten all the raises and promotions that you can get. You can't move any farther in your position. So in that company, maybe it's a small company or whatever, maybe you don't have the educational background, or the field just doesn't call for you to move up any farther. Maybe you the vice president, maybe you're the president, whatever. But you know that all of the challenges that have been presented in this company, all your opportunities for advancement have been exhausted. All of your chances to get any more raises and bonuses and promotions or whatever, all of that stuff is pretty much at its peak. You can't go any farther. But you're still going to stay in the job because maybe it pays you enough to maintain your lifestyle and to have the things that you want. So professionally, you've peaked. So your opportunities have expired. The job has expired for you, but it hasn't ended. It won't end until you get another job, until you leave that company, reinvent yourself, step out on faith. So although everything as far as advancement is concerned has expired and the job has expired for you, you still have not ended it. So it's a judgment call. You're going to treat it the way you want to treat it. And in your personal life, there may be a whole lot of other things that have expired, but you just haven't ended them yet. You could be in a relationship. You can easily be in a relationship that has expired for you. Maybe mentally and emotionally, possibly even physically. Things just aren't going anywhere for you. You're not feeling the love anymore. You're not even really physically attracted anymore. And you've tried to put it back together. You've tried to repair it. You've tried to reinvent it. You've tried to start all over. You've tried to make it spicy and interesting and whatever. But it's just not there anymore. Somebody just doesn't do it for you anymore, and there's really nothing you can do about that. It's a wrap. It's a straight wrap. But you haven't ended it yet. It has expired, but you haven't ended it yet. So it won't end until you get the balls to finally say, listen, I still have feelings for you, and I'll always have respect for you, and I want the best for you. But this really isn't working for me anymore, and I think it's time for me to do something for myself, and I think it's time for you to do something for yourself too. And it's not going to be easy to leave you. It's not going to be easy to step off and all of that kind of stuff, and it's going to hurt me, and it's going to hurt you, and I realize all of that. But it's time for us to break up. We got to give this breakup a shot. The same way when we got together, we gave getting together and being together a shot. Now, the reason that people ain't going to do that is because you're going to sound crazy when you step to somebody like that. They ain't going to really let you go if they still down with you, if they still love you. They're going to look at it like you're making excuses, like you don't want to try, you don't want to give another chance, you don't want to be more creative, you don't want to really invest any more time. So you're going to stay past that expiration date and hope that you do something foul or get found out about something so that person can expire for you, or so you expire for that person. So y'all can break up because of some foul shit that you've done instead of trying to get it done the right way. The expiration date is already passed. You've reached the expiration date, but you haven't reached the ending date. Hey, it is what it is. You know, in a supermarket or a grocery store, whatever you call it in your part of the country, you know, they rotate stock. So your expiration date on perishable items like milk, like produce, and things like that, they have a sell-by date, which is basically the expiration date. That's the expiration date that the market or the store can make money off of the product. So they have to honor that expiration date no matter what, because they can be held accountable for that, and they can wind up getting sued over that. But you still are able to use it past that expiration date. You know, like a lot of people just follow the expiration date that's on the cartons or whatever. You know, but that's really not a smart thing to do, because it's still of some use to you. You can still eat it, or you can still drink it, or whatever. Give it the sniff test, the taste test, or whatever. You know, if it's still not all the way bad, then it's still of some use for you. So it's like past the expiration date is still useful to you, or maybe still useful to you, but it's not useful professionally for the money for the store. So I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say tonight. You know what I mean? Your expiration date comes when something is no longer of use to you. Now, you notice we didn't talk about life and death and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We were talking more about existential life and, you know, how life is while you're still living it, and how death is while you're still living. So it's important to know what your expiration date is, because if you can nail down what your expiration date is, or what somebody else's expiration date is towards you, you can really, really steer your life in the right direction and get some things done that you need to get done out here. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, your expiration date is the date that has passed that something is of use to you. When it ain't of any use to you anymore, then it has expired. And that's when the time comes that you have to make a decision. Are you going to keep using something past its expiration date? Or are you going to make the expiration date the ending date? There's a difference between the expiration date and the end date. It's up to you to connect the two. But you're going to have to be a man about it. Or you're going to have to be a woman about it. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with nobody else. And that really is a rule. That's just the truth right there. You know? People lie to themselves all the time. Check out the Daily Go Getimism Show every single day at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in number 319-527-6199. blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. How's y'all tomorrow? Or any other day, because we on every single day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good night. Peace.